Jesus, my Jesus. Without him, how lost I would be. Without him, how lost I would be.
We always enjoy hearing the Blackwood Brothers and the Memphis Quartet Show, a great annual event, great singing, great sound, great lighting. It's one of our favorites.
Yes, it is. Who has a birthday this week?
Happy birthday to Billy Blackwood. Billy sings with the Blackwood Brothers, and his birthday is April 7.
And we wish a happy birthday to all our Southern Gospel friends.
We have more video coming up from the Memphis Quartet Show, but first, Jean has been listening to some new music.
The Phillips family from Gaffney, South Carolina has a new CD titled Thank You for Saving Me. The songs were written by group member Stephen Phillips, and some of the songs are A Place at My House, What Grace Can Do, and My Strength. My favorite is I Want to Finish Well. That's Thank You for Saving Me by the Phillips family.
This is a concert update from Gospel Music Today. The Pine Ridge Boys will sing at White Plains Baptist Church in Jefferson, Georgia on April 26. If you're looking for a concert near you, check the search engine at gospelgigs.com. And you can always use the links at our website, gospelmusictoday.com.
New Journey from Pennsylvania is a passionate singing ministry with a desire to be a vessel in which God can extend his love, healing, restoration, and salvation through song and testimony. The individual members of New Journey have been ministering the gospel and song for over 30 years. Having spent earlier years as soloist or with other groups, each member of New Journey prayed for a new opportunity to serve, and as a group decided to step out in faith and follow the Lord's leading to begin New Journey. Members of the group are Kelly Moore, Missy Tressler, and Michelle Tantlinger. You can find out more about this week's feature group at newjourneyministry.com.
From the Memphis Quartet Show, we heard the Blackwood Brothers sing, and we have exclusive video coming up on Gospel Music Today.
The thief hanging by his side. He spoke with love and compassion. Then he took him to
Coming up next on Gospel Music Today, Ken visits with the Williamsons. Welcome back to Gospel Music Today.
We were at the National Quartet Convention. We spoke to Bo Chesser and Donnie Williamson from the Williamsons, and that's up next on Gospel Music Today. We are at the National Quartet Convention with me, Donnie Williamson, and Bo Chesser of the Williamsons. We want to welcome you guys to Gospel Music Today.
Thank you, Ken. Honor to be with you again.
That's right. It's good to see old friends.
Yes, sir.
And a new friend, well, relatively new, because the Williamsons have a little different lineup than when we first met you.
Well, a little different. Bo has actually, this is Lisa's younger brother, by the way, and he's been with us off and on since he was probably 7 or 8 years old. But then he got busy in school, started going to college, wasn't with us near as much. But our longtime lead singer, Carl Rice, got word early this year that his mother was terminal. Now, she has since, thank the Lord, gotten better. She had 2 surgeries. They didn't think she'd make it through either one. She made it through both in good shape, but he still had to move to South Carolina to take care of his mom. Bo was already with us, and he was playing and singing a little bit, but it was just a natural move to move him right on up into the spot where Carl was, and it's been working extremely well.
Mm-hmm. And the Williamson daughters now quite frequently.
Yes, they do. Now, our oldest, Sadie, she's 14, and Sadie gets upset when she doesn't get to sing. Now, Olivia, a little different story. Sometimes we have to tell her she's going to, but we'll see what happens with the girl. But Sadie's doing both of them. They're amazingly talented girls. I say all the time, I wish I could tell how hard we've worked with them, but we haven't done anything. They've just done it on their own.
Yeah, they're great. It's wonderful to see that real family group up there on the stage. Mm-hmm. It's nice. When you started with, well, I don't know if this is where you started, but you sang with the Williamson family way back in the 60s. Mm-hmm. And how did we get from there to the Williamsons now?
Just actually never totally stopped. I can remember, really putting an exact date to it, it's hard for me to do, but the late 60s, I can remember singing. We made our first album in 1971 with David Ingalls. He's still there in the Tulsa area, David Ingalls and a man named Jerry Lepper. And that's, ever since then, the family did singings and revivals, and then my dad pastored as well, but I just never totally quit singing. And then in about 1998 is when we really kicked this thing back in a little higher gear and have been going pretty solidly full time for the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, and with a lot of recording success and performance success, especially in the last few years.
Yeah, we've been extremely blessed. Radio has been so kind to us, and we're so thankful that we're the only group from Oklahoma to ever have a number one song. And this year, we just received our second in March of this year. And several top 10, some of which Lisa, my wife, has written. And we're just extremely grateful for what God has done for us and the people who's helped. People just like you have used to, I've said this a lot here lately, but back when I was a kid doing this, churches would fill up on weekends when you had a gospel singing. But now people tend to they're more likely to come hear their favorite group.
Yeah.
And if they don't know you, they're not quite as likely to come as they used to be. And but people like you have helped a lot of folk know who we are, and we're starting to see, I've noticed just little by little, Darren and our bass singer and I were talking about this the other day, but just little by little, we're seeing more people come and say, yeah, I saw you on gospel music today, or I heard you on the Gospel Grace, or we saw you on a television program, and just more and more of those things are happening for us, and I'm so thankful.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. We always enjoyed watching Bo on stage, even when he was just occasional with the Williamsons, and always wondering how many different instruments this kid could play.
Oh, man.
It's always great, because now you're more out front.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite instrument?
I would probably say mandolin, because I actually started that whenever I was about 8 years old. So it was the first instrument that I learned how to play, and I just love the sound of it, and I love that I've been able to play it like in this capacity with the Williamsons.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he's a little guy, so I think a little instrument fits him really well.
Great. I'm glad. Good work, Donnie.
Thanks.
And we've always enjoyed the trumpet contribution to the Williamsons. That's been great.
Thank you.
Really excellent. The Williamsons put a lot of effort and a lot of energy into mission trips that may be a little bit in the background for what people know about the Williamsons. You guys do a lot of that. Well,
we do. We have been heavily involved with the Gospel Station Radio Network out of Ada, Oklahoma for many years, and part of their ministry is the World Mission Team. And back in, I believe, 2013, they invited us to go on a trip with them to the Philippines. And so we thought about it, prayed about it, finally raised enough money to do it, and spent 2 weeks over there, and saw about 6,500 people come to Christ. We thought, we need to be doing more of this. So now every time we raise enough money, we try to take another one. We have since been to Nicaragua, and a couple of years ago we went to Kenya, and we actually had a trip scheduled to Romania for earlier this year, but we had some problem getting it all together. Some things were out of our control, but we're moving it. We're hoping to late spring of next year to reschedule that trip.
That'll be exciting. The Williamsons continue, and we are very glad to have you guys on Gospel Music today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
In this month's Christian Voice magazine, the cover story is about Wilburn and Wilburn, and it's titled A Father and Son Serving the Father and Son. Other articles are about Troy Richardson and the group Branded Cross. You can find a link to Christian Voice magazine at our website, gospelmusictoday.com. We're at the National Quartet Convention, and I'm here with Sherry Taylor. She is part of the Butler Music Group. Sherry, welcome to Gospel Music Today.
Thank you so much, Jean. I appreciate it.
It's always fun to get to see you and visit with you. We have a lot in common, so we have some things we can talk about.
Yes, we do.
And I understand that there is a new CD that you have. Tell us a little bit about it.
We've been working on this since June, I believe, is when we first went into the studio, and both of us have just been so busy. Last week we were supposed to do the background vocals, and they got laryngitis. So it's been put off, and it will be coming out right around January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the songs that are on there.
Oh, I've got some that I'm so excited about. Tony Clay wrote a song called I Feel a Blessing Coming On, and it's just, and I can't wait to share it. There's another one by Eric Horner called He Is Greater Than My Needs. And as we were just laying down my vocals, you could just feel the Holy Spirit coming. He just saturated the studio, and